All right, welcome back to Soul Spark Tarot. I'm your host, Mr. Renew. Today we got our 25 days of Christmas. So what that means is we are going to be on day number 18. Yeah, and I got to tell you, all day I've had wonderful energy of like, oh, hold on, go ahead and get you some of that. Yeah, but like all day, man, I just been like super in my spirit, and I told the lady I was gonna go back and see her, and I just didn't get back over that way, but that was okay. We had a very spiritual conversation. I had a lot of spiritual conversations today. I even battled a demon. I was a, it was a very energetic, like, day today. Energetically speaking, just, I don't know. It was like playing a video game. I was just in the zone. And as I'm here chilling, relaxing, after I was gathering the energy, you know, I'm here to talk about it to those who need to hear it. And the energies itself, it came with a lot of epiphanies, and I spoke on a lot of things, and I talked about myself in a way that I haven't in a while. And I think that's the energy that you guys are going to see and be in too. The only reason why I say this is because I can see how it's been building, and because I've been having that practice, I can like do a little bit more now, and you know, I could explore myself a little bit further. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got to yap about. Let me get the cards, and we'll get started. It's a nice way to start off. Ten of presents. That's actually what we. Where'd you go? Here you go. Sorry about that. But yeah, we started off. We ended off. I wanted to say so many more things yesterday, man, after the reading, but it's always good just to like be what you are. So our first cut, we got this and this. So that was a very important message yesterday, talking about how changing our heartbreak like changes how we're received. And man, I I I'm a motherfucking boss, and that's the energies being in motion with in new recasted roles. So I felt good in a lot of different areas of today, and in that feeling, realized that like there's always a different version of me presenting itself, but it wasn't. There was always a me aware of like what was going on. It was like it, like I wasn't exactly cognizant of like it occurring, but it was like something was. All my actions were getting like pre-approved, like right before they happened, and so like I was comfortable with everything that I did today, like with no like fears of wavering whatsoever. Like I just kind of knew exactly like everything that I was cooking up, like it was going to be for the benefit of the people involved. Oh, so that must have been this energy. Yesterday we got this card, and we got the King of Cups, King of Potions. So I was very comfortable in that fiery energy today, and most of the time it was a nice subtle flame. It wasn't anything like hot and heavy. It was like very comfortable. But There are certain situations where I was definitely uncomfortable, and there are situations where I had to make other people uncomfortable in order to be comfortable. And then there was times where I saw other people trying to do the same thing to me, and I wouldn't accept it. And there was other times where I saw people doing it, and I did. And I just thought it was for the greater cause. And all of these different scenarios, they can happen because, the nature of what I do is I interact with people all the time, like all the time. So I get to see when people are like just mindless drones, when people have like minds, when people are like assholes, when people just don't vibe with you. I can see it, especially after teaching. So, with that being said, I was comfortable talking to people as if they was a fucking second grader today. I was comfortable talking to people as if they was a motherfucking seasoned veteran doctor inside of a specialty field of behavior. Like I had a full range today of like who I was, and it's pretty cool because as a person who has a passion, like my passions is in my Mars sign is in my is in Gemini, but it's been a Sagittarius, I believe, was the full moon. So the moon was in Sagittarius, the opposite. And because Mars is normally retrograde for me, I think it was going forward. It's like I really had to like be comfortable doing the opposite thing in the opposite way. Two different things at once. But it was cool because I guess I've been getting the practice in, and I think a lot of it has to come in dealing with the idea of us actually recasting our energy. We're saying this energy is new, it's different. We're treating it differently, and because we're thinking that it's different, it's creating different. But I'm just documenting these things for you too, so you can have a reference of how to use the energy whenever it gets to you. Alright? It's like we're on a ship, man. And I'm just transversing through space. And I had that dream a many a times, and I've just been going from place to place. That's how it kind of feels, cosmic nomad, Ava wandering around on this place. And Ava too, but we still get what we need. Alright, I was just about to ask, so that's our overall energy, but it doesn't want to show itself just yet, so we'll keep it going. Alright, so the first card we get a chance to see is the Eight of Potions. So the Eight of Potions is clearing up our overall energy, and this kind of goes along with the different aspects of me. All the different versions of who I was trying to be when I needed to be. Again, I just allowed myself to be. I didn't like take any real change into account. I wasn't making any like big decisions. I really just accepted what was given to me. Perfect, exactly. I was exploratory. I was like a youthful child. So instead of just being submersed within these emotions of old, I was sharing. I was exposing them. I was pouring things out, seeing what's good, what's bad. I was cleaning out the refrigerator. And I was cool with it. Nothing was too serious or not. Had some good times, had some bad times, had some tired times, had some frustrating times, had some funny times, had some enlightening times. I was like, all right, I can accept all of these bottles. I can accept all of these bottles. The devilish sides of me, tempered, the passionate side of me, brought back together. The tower moment of realizing all of these things happening at once. But the most important card in this spread right here is the temperance. No matter what you are or what you're doing, you are the thing that is the temperance. So in the case of this card here, you got to realize that you are the cauldron. It's Like, you're not conducting the temperance in the world. You're the cauldron. You're receiving the things in the world that's being tempered by others. And then you're out here tempering yourself while you're interacting with some other. Then you begin to pour. But until you're pouring with another, if you're receiving, you are the cauldron. So you are the place where all of these different things will reside. It's in you. So the idea is, can you shuffle these cards around to make sure that the things are in the right spot, so now they have a whole different meaning? So now, instead of just looking at yourself as something who's being brought together, you can see as something that's been brought back together through temperance, brought back together through passions, brought back together through temperance of the devil inside of you, brought back together through the temperance of the devilish sides and the towers that they cause, or the towers that are caused in lieu of the devilish side. Happens in both ways, as a warning and as a protector. But all of it's being tempered together because no one thing matters more than the other. We're exploring the whole entire supermarket. We're going and riding all the rides in the amusement park. We're checking out all the shops in the mall. We're doing it all. I don't know what happened to the music, but no music, no music. All right. So we got the Nine of Pentacles. This is an excellent card. It shows that we're finally going to a place where we're abundant within ourselves, who we are, what we do, how we be. And the only thing is now we're allowing ourselves to rest. Exactly. We feel safe and secure in our own vessel. And this is allowing us to do more to protect our vessels, do more to project life into our vessels, do more for ourselves. But that means we're thinking about more. That means we're adding, we're obtaining. That means we're gathering. That means we're collecting. That means we're acquiring. That means we're gaining. That means we're, adding more to your life. What are you adding? Looking at the small victories. Looking at the victories within the passions of when you do things and when you don't. When you have responses that just last moments, when they would have last weeks. You're just finding all the victories that you can. And even if it's something like, damn, I was mad, but I said what I needed to say. I'm happy I said that. I'll say it better next time, but damn. I'm not going to go back on how I felt at that moment. And just because I didn't have the right words then doesn't mean I can't get them next time. But I'm not going to lose the idea of I won the situation, which was I did what was authentic to me. Could I have been better? Yep, everything can be refined. That's what we call a raw material. But if it's your first few times being authentic in yourself, of course it's going to come out raw. So this is exactly why we made our list and checked it twice today, and we compared to ourselves about the things that we saw that was great in us from the past. This is that's so crazy how that exactly segued into. It's like I jumped right onto the timeline, so hopefully other people can bridge their way from one gap to the next, because again, by us connecting these videos, I'm hoping that again the people who need this get this. And when you get this, you'll understand that these things are weaving through time. So don't push yourself through time and space on a single angle. No, weave yourself through time as well, because you're already been woven. So if you can just start to list the things that make you feel good, you can do the things that you might not want to do now, but you'll be using those things to help you check out this list of all the great things you've done, find your spark, be energized, be remotivated, and enact your soul's inspiration. It's right there in front of you. Your soul inspiration is the inspiration your soul gets from the things that you've already done. Make that motherfucking list and check it twice. Put some value on yourself. See all the joy. Like a lady today was like, man, I love when you come in. You just have such a beautiful smile. It's just so awesome, and it lights up the day. It lights up the room, and it makes me so happy. I was like, oh shit, thank you. And that's all I could really say. I mean, like, that's how you just received the comment. I said thank you, and of course, when she got a chance to work with me, I made her laugh and we joked, but I was comfortable in that, even though like it was an uncomfortable situation. Let's read this. Let's look at what the Emperor has on the inside. This is what this card means. There's nothing bad. There's no bad cards, bro. It's the interpretation of how you using the energy, whether it's inside or outside of you, and then that determines if you used it rightly or incorrectly. In other words, if I wanted to make a lemon meringue pie and I added peaches, did I do it right or do it wrong? I put the wrong energy into the pot. So guess what? It's wrong altogether. That's the idea of, it being something being wrong. It's just misplaced or not rightfully applied. Let's get to this Emperor card. Let's see. That's the number 3, 4. So the fact that we got the Emperor card here, which is a 4 for the majors, then we got the Passion card, that's 4. So we're built upon a stable foundation of passions, but currently it's being expressed in reverse. So what does that mean? Let's see. The Emperor, like Santa Claus, uses calm commanding practicality to take control and save the day. That's definitely, man. I've helped so many people today. I talked about, I think yesterday, being an Earth Angel, and I was absolutely that today for so many people. It was crazy. Like old people too, just coming up telling me life stories, and I'm like, yeah, it's because this, yeah, it's because of that. And to me, it was just so easy to see. So I just had to make sure that you already been saying this shit all your life, because that person was telling me that. I'm like, don't think I'm just smart, because she was like, this is like early in the morning too. I started off the day with this. She was talking about how, I was just so smart and wise, and a lot of the things I was saying is true, and she couldn't believe some of the ideas that was dropped. And I was like, man, that's because yesterday that shit was dropped on me. I was like you yesterday trying to talk about it, and nobody was around to hear about it. And she was like, that was me all 50 years of my life. I was talking and wondering and thinking, and everybody's like, stop thinking about shit. And yesterday I was thinking about shit, and it woo, a message dropped the bomb on your boy. And so I told her about the message. She was like, sheesh. And she didn't say sheesh, but, she's an old ass lady. But she was like, damn. Whatever her old ass word was. But we was on the vibe of, oh, shit. So that energy of me being like 25 years her senior, or her junior, I mean, just still being able to rap with this older lady early as fuck in the morning about something that just began with a simple conversation and that led to a whole different thing. And again, that lady needed it more than anything. And I told her, please don't stop asking questions and speaking out to people, because eventually you'll run into a person like me, is what I said. Eventually you'll run into a person who can resonate and understand what you're saying, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, but I can get you and you can get me. And if you keep saying, oh, what? And like all of these epiphanies keep happening, I'm dropping bombs on you, and it's been 7.5 minute conversation. Like, you gotta understand that that is you. And you brought me to you. You magnetized me in, and we had this conversation because it was the right time. But it's like she just a lot of people don't get that part when you start throwing in all the beauty that like I provide to people right back at them. That like, and then they expect me to be able to just stand there and take the compliments like that shit don't make me squirm like Chopper Tony off of One Piece. Early Chopper Tony, stop it. That shit don't make me happy or nothing when you tell me that. And everybody be like, well, you sound happy. It'd be just so obvious, but that's the whole thing. Like, it's not that obvious when you have that mirror in front of you. And I think that's what this is really going to get us to understand. It's like, do we really see ourselves? Like, do we really understand us? Like, I don't think we really understand this foundation we've been built upon. Like, we work so hard to build up anew. We work so hard to, like, heal and grow. We work so hard for these things, and we got them when we see them, when we live in them, but we don't know what the fuck is really going on. Like, do I keep healing? Do I need to have these same boundaries? Like, how come I'm acting a little different? Did I reach a new level of behavior? Like, what is actually going on? Sorry. So, we got to start to see all parts of ourselves. So let's read it in reverse. Is there a major power struggle going on in your life right now? It could be you're feeling paralyzed. Someone's walking all over you. Stand up for yourself. Examine and reassess your plans and daily routines. And don't be afraid to shake things up. So, hell yeah, for me at least, this was the energy all day of me not being afraid and stepping up and being whatever I needed to be in order to get the job done on this motherfucking list. And that was to talk to whoever needed to be talked to, however. And of course, because I'm a loving emperor, more of it was positive than not. But the idea is there's just certain things that I know that I like had insights about my own self that I learned. Here's one for instance. Excuse me. This morning, like my voice it's been a little bit deeper today, more raspy. Here's my regular voice, like without trying to talk or do anything. Like if you was chilling with me at the crib right now, I'd be like, "Hey, yo, Kyle, you trying to go to the store?" I'm like, "Shit, man, I don't know if I'm really trying to go to the store right now." This is that voice, and so this is chilling in the house voice. And earlier today, when I first woke up, it was more raspy and a lot deeper. And earlier today, and I just had the urge to start singing. So I love singing. I love singing. And when I was singing, I realized that like I value singing so much, and that is, I never really had that feeling of having this sensation, but I have this feeling, and I've seen this feeling, but I finally got the sensation of like not wanting to lose my voice. So like I don't want to have the ideas and me be the cushion for these negative ideas and all this anxiety of like what would happen if I like just decided that I wanted to keep smoking and then I all of a sudden couldn't sing anymore. Like that would be fuck that. I wouldn't want to do anything else but sing. Same thing like with the people who with walking. Like you gotta value the shit that you got before you lose it. And so the fact that there's things that we know we need to rest on because it's the things that's giving us anxiety, I tried to like hit some high notes, and it was like, damn, my voice is like fucked up right now, and I couldn't like really sing, and I'm seeing like parts of my body hurt because I'm trying to blow, and it's just like, okay, yeah, I was sick. I'm still am sick, under the weather a little bit. I feel it, but like it's not enough to know that if I continue doing what I'm doing, there might be a time where I can't even do it anymore. I don't want that to happen because I like talking and I damn well like singing even more so, especially like, you know, if I just really feel like I'm in that mood, and it be just as healing as it is to the few people who get to hear it. Well, I guess used to. I sing online and shit now. I don't care anymore. But beforehand, I would only sing to people who I was really close to, and then I realized that the closest people I was with didn't give a fuck. And the reason why I learned that they didn't give a fuck is because I was better than what the fuck I thought. I didn't think I was that good. I didn't hear all the greatest things, but I didn't realize that black people got a certain way of saying certain shit. When they they want you to know you good without knowing you all that good. You ain't all that nigga. Like that kind of shit. But then I was around other kind of people too. Not around black people all the time. I mean, Caucasian people, Hispanic people, Asian people, Korean, all kinds. So it's just like I've always been around a lot of different kind of people, getting similar behavioral responses to the talents when I show these things that are generic to me because I've just been doing it all my life. But because I don't get the reactions that I want, and I only have certain reactions in my mind bank as a kid, Soul Spark Radio Season 1, Episode 7. Check it out if you want more on that. Solutionarily me and anxiously yo. Check those out. Season 1. Maybe I'll put them in a discussion or description box. But knowing that those things happened before, it does influence you and it impacts you and makes you feel like this. But because we've been focused on having the satisfaction of doing things when we can, I changed the music. So I shifted this jar from that was down here and I put it up here. So like I shifted how I was perceiving. Just like I began again in the remainder of the day, I shifted between energies of myself, all the different casts that I called back, all the different roles that was reassigned, all the different acts that needed to happen in order to become that me in the future. Those things was all prepared to be unleashed on the shelf, even when I was in a destitute state, again, feeling like I couldn't sing. That was the example initially. So, guess what? Instead of trying to sing those kind of songs, I just went to a deep nigga voice song. So now I'm over here not singing like DeBarge, a high pitched voice, and now I'm over here singing like, Barry White and stuff. You'll never find, you know, someone to love you like I do. Just I had to change it up, go over to some Frank Sinatra, those kind of vibes, because those are the kind of voice that I have right now. So this is the idea of us calling that energy back, not being able to be all I can be all the time, being able to be confident in who I am at any given time. Woo! Being able to be confident in who I am at any given time. That is the King of Wands energy. But we also are the King of Potions, the King of Cups. We're that energy too. So, in order for us to be all we can be, we got to start to see more. And then when you can see more of yourself, that means you got to give space for yourself to be more of you. It might not be the most pleasurable thing all the time, but the reflection behind that, when you rest on that you that you're being in that moment, it's going to change the game and how you perceive yourself. And then you allow yourself to adjust with the right means for the right times. Just like when I need to speak a little bit deeper, or if I need to raise my voice just a little bit so you can understand the vibes. Either way it go. We the tribe, we're here together, we doing these things and we're learning and we're growing and cultivating newness as we do this life thing. So, what's our final message of the night, of the day? Final message, what we got to say? So we got management. This is my management card. So something is built off of management. Our final message is built upon management. Ooh, I love it. So, management off of new opportunities that you can create and present itself in the real world. Like now, I have a reason now. I've been looking and desiring for reasons and passions so I can keep my emotional cup full. So, the reason I'm keeping my cup full is because I have a flame. And now, because I have a flame, I actually now can choose to manage the different resources that I use to fuel that flame. Why is the flame important? Because if I can have an assortment of resources that can be burned or consumed as a flame, that means I can take in more types of water. I can take in more kinds of emotions, but because those emotions are on a flame, it's on a pot that's boiling water, it's becoming sterilized. So I'm creating a practical way to transmute and alchemize the energies that are being transmuted around me. And so instead of trying to protect myself as a barrier, I'm opening myself up as a channel and allowing myself to maintain its flame by consuming more things to keep my flame burning. And then I'm realizing I can boil off the emotions into a new transmuted state. And I don't need to always consume them, I can even share. And guess what? If it's boiling hot garbage water, guess what? If that's what a person is giving me and that shit gets boiled over and they receive that hot garbage right back, they will think twice about spewing hot garbage. And that's the beautiful thing because I didn't make that shit. Whether you give me the hot garbage or not, I'm just going to burn it away. I have the resources to consume and keep my passions afoot. So because I got my passions flowing, because my flow keeps my feet going, now I can keep walking along these different pinnacle steps as I continue on this journey called life. And I hope you do the same, man, because we got a nice little ride. We got like 7 days left or something like that, so I'm excited. I've been wanting to do in between readings, but I've been focusing the energy onto these days and definitely turned the corner. But got 7 more days, so a lot more can happen. Um, so stay blessed, stay being you, stay being true, stay trying, brand new. By the way, I'm Mr. New. I'll see you next time. Oh, hey, if you're here, I vibe with you. I really, really mess with you. So, with that being the case, everybody else does this. Put a little emoji in there. Put a spark inside the comment section. Put a spark down there if you can. And then check out Remember Your Spark. I think that's a good book for y'all. And then Christmas, of course, we got Soul's Respark Adventure coming out. So, hey, get what you need to get your mind right and get managing these energies because the Ten of Cups is waiting on you. All right, people, I love you and I hope you're healthy. I'm getting healthy too, so let's make the change. Let's make the change. All right, all right. All right. Peace.